All right, we are back. My sauce has been simmering very nicely. It's looking good. I have had to turn it down to low, so it's been simmering for about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's actually been close to 3 hours. I've got some salt water boiling, and I've got my noodles here ready to put them in. Before I put those in, though, I think I'm going to go ahead and get these green beans out of my way. I put them in a glass dish that has an accompanying lid. I'm going to microwave them to steam them. About 5.5 minutes is probably what I'm going to do for those. I'll go ahead and put those in the microwave. All right, so my vegetables are going. I've got my pot is really, it's got a good rolling boil to it now. So I'm going to grab a handful of noodles. And I like to break mine in half as I put them in. And for my family, I do the whole box. It's a family favorite meal, so I do the whole box. All right. And I have some tongs here to use just to kind of get them shifted around. And now I just wait for that to do its thing. Once it starts boiling, which it's starting to again, I will set my timer for okay, so that's done. So now I'm going to start working on my bread since I've got my noodles going, got my vegetable going, my sauce is just waiting for me. So I'm going to go ahead and butter each little slice of bread here. I've just taken a loaf of French bread and sliced it into smaller pieces here. And I didn't slice it all the way so that we could pick it off. There's my oven preheated and ready for me. Just a couple more seconds here, I'll be done with this. All right. All right. I'm about out of butter here. That's okay. All right. We'll go ahead and pop that in the oven. Bake that, toast it. Just gonna stir my noodles here a little bit. Make sure they don't stick together. And I'm also going to stir my sauce here. This is actually my youngest daughter's favorite meal, is spaghetti. So she's very excited about it. All right. Just gonna leave that there. All right, so I have about 7 minutes left on my noodles. I have 45 seconds left on my green beans. And my bread should be about probably another 10 minutes. So I will check back in with you. Actually, I'll let my green beans finish first, and then I will check back with you. While I'm getting my green beans, I'm going to also grab some butter for flavoring for my green beans, since I ran out. And I've got salt and pepper right here as well. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. And I think I'm going to put it back in the microwave for another, probably a minute or so. All right. I found if you just leave the noodles alone and let them cook, they kind of cook together and stick together. So every once in a while, I like to just kind of move them around a little bit just to make sure they're not sticking together. All right, so got a few more minutes with everything, so I will check back in with you in a few. All right, so my timer just went off for my noodles. They look pretty good. They say if you fling a noodle to the wall and it sticks, it's ready. I don't really test it that way. I more test it by tasting it. They still have a little too much of a chew. They're not quite ready. So I'm going to give them another, maybe a minute, maybe two. All right, but my beans are beeping at me. All right, let's check out these beans here. There we go. Look like they're all cooked. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to taste and some pepper to taste. All right, those are looking pretty good. Perfectly steamed right there. They still have a very bright green color to them. They're not soft and mushy. They seem to be cooked very well. All right, I'm going to set these off to the side so they're ready to make plates. All right, it's been about 1.5 minutes. I do have my colander in my sink ready for me to drain my noodles. They have the perfect chew. They're not so soft that there's not a chew to them. As you can see, my timer's going on. All right, I'm going to turn that off. Give them one last stir around. All right, I'm going to drain them real quick right behind the computer here. All right, so my noodles are done. I'm going to turn my light on so I can see my bread. I think my bread might be done as well. Let's see. It's got a crunchy top and a soft, mushy middle, just how I like it. So I'm going to push this out of the way a little bit. It's not getting any hotter on that hot burner up in the front. My noodles. All right, so now all I have to do is make a plate for you to see. I have baked, I have boiled, I have steamed, I have sauced. Anyway, yeah, so there I have made a complete meal using at least 3 of my techniques. So now I will plate it and you'll get to see it. All right, here is my plate. I have spaghetti cooked al dente with 1 meatball and my meat sauce. These noodles, you can see, are not too firm, but not mushy and all together. It's bread that is nice and squishy. You can hear it's toasted on the top, but it is squishy in the middle. And these green beans have a pretty color, and they're not squishy. They're not too crunchy, like they're still cold. So there you have it. My extra credit. Steamed, baked, boiled the noodles, and reheated the sausage and browned the meat. I don't know if it's considered braising or boiling or anyway, there you have it. Thanks so much.